Hey, this is Dr. Todd, Healthy Feet Podiatry. Let's take a trip down memory lane and look at a pretty gnarly gout flare-up where we got a bunch of tophi of a tiny little toe. All right, so I actually remember this patient pretty well. He was one of those outlier patients where he was super healthy. He watched everything he ate, he worked out, but he kept getting these gout flare-ups, specifically to the toes. So this one on the third toe specifically, he kept getting these tophi buildup. So he was just ready to get him out of there. The shots hadn't helped. You can see he's got some on the second toe too, but smaller toes are obviously harder because you're trying to avoid big crazy incisions, but you know, get as much out of there as you conceivably can. You can see that all that thick white stuff is all that gouty crystals. It's a little bit of a throwback. Obviously you can hear Dr. Krawitz's voice talking about it as I'm doing it here. That was when I very first started doing videos where I hated being on video, got stage fright. Now I've gotten to the point where I just don't care. I know people make fun of me, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so something like this, you know, if this didn't work for him, which it did, but if it didn't, you know, you'd have to look at a much more aggressive surgery where you're actually opening it up, taking out some of the bone, some of the knuckle of the bone, and doing a really good true clean out in the operating room. This was an alternative that we could give them in the office to really try to clean it out. Quite a bit for a small toe. I think we just stitched it up at the end. You know, the downside to gout, especially a video like this, is one of the precipitating factors for gout could be trauma, which obviously cutting in the toe is traumatic. So we've had patients, whether it's something like this or that go through surgery, that have a gout flare-up post-surgical, which is never fun because now you have gout pain and surgical pain. Once you get them on the right or the anti-inflammatories, usually it knocks it out though pretty quickly. But yeah, this patient did pretty good. This is from 10 years ago, which is crazy to think about. I don't think I've seen him since. You know, I mean, his initial follow-up, but I don't think I've seen him since. So it's probably been a good 8 to 9 years since he's had to come in, which is great.